University of Chicago. She's a student of multiple professors at Harvard, etc. She has also won the Kyoto Prize, which is the Japanese prize for the smartest people in the world, etc. Not many of them. Hillary Putnam. I think he just died, so I should move him to the other list. Right? But Hillary Putnam was a friend of Quine, and they argued about something. Slavoj Žižek, he's the most dangerous philosopher in the world, according to some critics, and that's a joke, because actually no philosopher is actually dangerous, as far as I know. Not even Marx, but of course Marx is dead, so it's cheating, right? But Slavoj Žižek considers himself a communist, and yet at the same time he only uses communism as a critique of capitalism, not ever really suggesting that we ought to go to some sort of more communist-like system, because he's absolutely convinced that capitalism is the best. It's just that there's a whole bunch of things wrong with it that we ought to try to fix. Alain Badiou, I think, is still alive. He's a French philosopher that, very similar to Peter Sloterdijk, has a concept of not bubbles, he doesn't use bubbles, but he does use sets. Okay, I guess that doesn't work anymore. All right. Maybe he is, I don't know, I haven't heard him that he's died. Peter Singer, if you're into ethics, he's the one that got the most, countries wouldn't allow him to come in because of some of his ethical views. In fact, when he was hired at Princeton, there were lots of people at Princeton that protested the decision of the university to hire him. They ignored them and hired him anyway. But I think a lot of the reason people are critical of him is because they don't understand what he's doing. Remember, one of the things he says is, well, if a woman wants to kill her 2-year-old child but she doesn't like it, well, she can do it. Why not? I mean, after all, you have abortion. If you make abortion legal, what's the difference between a fetus and a 2-year-old? Okay, well, absolutely, he's not really suggesting you should be able to kill children up to 2 years old if you don't like them. Not many of us would be around if mothers had that chance, right? But the point he's trying to make is that if you're going to establish abortion as legal, that where do you draw the line between a person, right? So my question about what is a person, which as you recall is one of the test questions if you use it, right? What is a person? I don't have an answer to, I do have an answer to that. I do have my own definition, which, by the way, steals from him. I steal from him, and I also steal from John Rawls. John Rawls talks about what it means to be a citizen, but Peter Singer is the one talking about what it means to be a person. And so I stole that from him. David Chalmers is his main thing. He teaches now at NYU, and his main concern is consciousness. And he's the one who gave it the title, The Really Hard Problem of Consciousness. So that's kind of fun. He also talks about using the 3D glasses and so on, and what it means to be able to have these virtual worlds and stuff. I just think that's fascinating because I play golf whenever I get the chance, and then do other things. I've been using goggles for years. Judith Butler, her main focus. I'm not gonna. I've got to go to the Wayback Machine for that. How about that? So I don't know what happened to her link, but Judith Butler's main thing is talking about gender issues. Judith's thesis is that there are at least 450 different genders, like masculine, feminine, neuter? No, 450 genders, and they're performative. Judith Butler argues that gendering should be performative, so that multiple times a day your gender changes depending on the context, what you're actually doing in a particular context and what role you're playing in that context. So, interesting. Lots of people find Judith Butler interesting. And I just refer to Judith Butler as Judith Butler because I can't get around the whole pronoun thing. It's very difficult. It's easier to just say Judith Butler whenever you want to say Judith Butler instead of trying to say they were whatever.
I'd say y'all.
Y'all. Yeah.
Texas way of it.
Should I keep going? I'm almost halfway through. But I guess I should quit because we're almost.
No.
So this is it. So if you feel like coming for our final session on Wednesday, remember we don't meet Monday, but I will be here on Wednesday next week at 10 o'clock. Probably bring a book or something to read in case no one else comes. I still do that. I read books. I've got a bag full and I'm taking back to the library after class. I do that. In fact, I have another book to pick up. This is about consciousness. It's a book I hadn't read yet. There are books in that library that I have not read. Some of them are in Greek. I'm quoting from The Beast, from Beauty and the Beast. Have you read all these books? I haven't read all. Some of them are in Greek. No fans of Beauty and the Beast. Well, questions for me. Did you enjoy this class? Was it useful? Did you get your money's worth?
I did.
And remember, send me all your requirements so that I can give you an A for the class. Just has to be the words. When I get the paper, I count the words, and if it's 3,029 words, A for you. And then I read it. And yes, you can use Grok, you can use ChatGPT, you can use all of those things. I don't check to see if, they're your words. Although, did you see the link I gave to that discussion at Columbia the other day? That was a big discussion about how artificial intelligence is destroying writing. Where's writing going to go after AI destroys it, etc.? And they had a panel of about 7 or 8 people, all of whom had completely different points of view on the nature of AI, and I agreed with all of them. And they all disagreed with one another. We're so confused it's a tool. Yes, go ahead.
How long is the paper supposed to be again?
The term paper is 3,000 words. Okay. Test 3, which is due the last Saturday. Mm-hmm. So this Saturday coming is when the term paper's due. Okay. And test 3, the next Saturday. If you're late, still send it.
Come in on
Remember
Wednesday, write it in.
The reason I have it set up that way is because I do actually read the stuff, and so if you send it all to me on the last Saturday, that's an awful lot to read all at once, and it doesn't. I can't play golf then, if everybody sends me stuff all at once. So, motion is lotion. If I'm not doing stuff at my age.
I've never heard of that. That's great. If I sit too long, because I'm older like you.
Motion is lotion.
My joints get sore, so yeah.
It's actually part of an ad for the senior centers for their various programs. So that's where that came from. My wife demonstrated that she's an excellent tumble artist, falling down the stairs.
I had to clarify that, so I wasn't there.
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't hear her? Yeah, she fell down last night.
Yeah.
And I ended up sitting with her in the hospital while waiting for the scans to be made and checked to make sure she didn't break anything. And she had the collar on. And we were trying to figure out, well, how can you drink water if you're in this collar? You know, 'cause I had a cup of water, but it
A
would
little
have just...
straw?
They did. They brought us a straw, and she was able to drink with the straw, especially since they gave her Tylenol.
Okay.
That sounds like private stuff that I'm sharing with her. I've never had any discipline with whatever I was supposed to be allowed to say.
Well, that's good to know there's still some free thinkers out there.
That haven't been fired yet. That's
You're
because
tenured.
that's
They can do that.
well, I'm actually flying under the radar.
Well, yeah, I know you're only teaching half a semester, I see that. You really play golf, huh?
I have a meta, and I
No,
have
I
a
mean,
golf
like pro
game.
golf.
I used to play golf. I still have my clubs.
You should go this summer.
They're Browning 220s.
You should go this summer.
I keep thinking I'd like to do that.
We can go
but
hit up the dome and hit some balls if you want.
I would go to Moose Run. I could go to
I
Moose
mean, like,
Run.
in the wintertime, because you can do that there.
Ah, well,
I'm not a screen guy, I don't play screen golf. Lotion is lotion, remember?
motion is lotion. Well, I'm moving.
It's most
I'm
exercise I get is when I play golf.
I am swinging with only one arm.
You also walk into and from your balls, so that's good.
I also have to be careful not to trip over my dog or hit my dog.
Well, that's why you don't bring your dog on the course with you.
You know, because the dog,
No dog on the course. See ya.
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Great course.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I do have to email everyone the survey thing, because there's supposed to be a survey
Here's
out.
for you and your wife. Merry
I'm not
Christmas.
supposed to take gifts, but
Oh, you just found it on the table.
I just found it on the
Thank
table.
you. It's my
Thank
favorite
you.
course.
Oh, thank you.
I was just checking because the paper is the final, right?
I think of test 3 as the final,
Oh, testing. Okay, gotcha.
and the term paper as the term paper.
Gotcha.
The term paper is worth 25% of the grade, and test 3 is part of test 1, test 2, and test 3, which are all part, what does it work out to, 65%, something like that, or 75%? No, 65%. It's 25% is the term paper, 25% are the quiz responses, which everybody, as long as you send responses, you get that one. But then the rest, so that would be 50%. So 50% is test 1, test 2, test 3. So it works out to something like 16 1/3 points per test.
Got it.
But it's still, I mean, when I evaluate everything, I really do need everything there. And it's an automatic A. But if I'm missing something, then I have to calculate and think, well, wait a minute, that would be 16 points off. Well, 16 points off means you would be a B. That would be the highest grade, right? Because 16 from 100,
Yeah.
that puts you, down into 84, points. And 84 is the B range, right? So, but, don't hesitate. Type what you want. It could even be in other languages if you want. I just do the word count, and it doesn't notice the difference between Swahili or Portuguese or I don't know. And I've been encouraging people all along to use these new AI programs because you're going to be competing with other people using them.
Yeah.
Lots of comments coming across that the people that are going to be getting the jobs are the ones that are going to be able to use these along with the skills that they have otherwise.
Yeah.
So,
Got to adapt.
yeah,
To
yeah, you gotta use the new tools. The like there was one philosophy teacher that said, oh, I wouldn't allow my students to use any of this stuff. They have to use blue books and handwrite and stuff. And
That's great.
that's not going to help them. I don't think. I understand her desire, but at the same time, that's not beneficial to them, I don't.
Yeah. I'll see you next week.
All righty, thank you.